Mhm. I mean, is it correct to say that the challenge that public bodies face because of the current trend of a lower trust in traditional information sources that you indicated in the early of the webinars? Like, I think nowadays people have more trust in what they see on social media than what's the government release. And how can like government or even local governments build that trust back in the communities?
That's a really big question. I mean, the issue of trust in governments is massive, and is a huge problem. My advice normally to local government, if we're talking to local government or MPs, is focus on yourself. Make the circle smaller. So if you're a local government, it's easier to get people to trust, let's say, the London Borough of Westminster or something, because they will have more experience of dealing with it every day. So there'll be parts of government that they trust, even if people think, people watch the news and say, well, I don't trust government, but they're thinking of, the Palace of Westminster, and they're thinking of, ministers in big cars and stuff. But if you remind them that also government is, the rubbish collection guys that come around that you have a conversation with, that there's also your school, it's also that sort of more low, especially if you're local government, it's a lot easier to do that because people have a daily interaction with the public facing elements of your authority, of your infrastructure, and you can start by building trust there. But on a wider level, I would say, again, it's the coordination. If it's possible, keep perceived contradictions down to as low as possible. It's much easier to do that than to have to explain to people afterwards, yes, well, that department doesn't really speak to this department and they didn't really mean it that way. That kind of conversation is a lot harder to do than to just identify where the contradictions would happen and close them down beforehand.